A little bit. Kitchen looks like a mess, but that's our pot of chili up there, so it's not as dirty as it may seem. I hope y'all could hear me. I had the volume turned all the way down, so I don't even know if you heard me or not. I was saying that the kitchen looks like a mess, but that is our pot of chili that we just had for supper. And I'll leave it out until everybody gets their fill. But hello, everybody. It's been a whirlwind the last couple days. I posted a video earlier. I tried to post it last night, but unfortunately, I did not have enough connection on my phone to post it through that, and our Wi-Fi was down. The power shut down for a short period of time, I believe, while we were gone. If you haven't watched the video, it took us over an hour and 20 minutes to make it out to the farm. And the trip usually is about 15 minutes. So we were really behind. And if you haven't watched it, I encourage you to watch the video to see why we were so behind. But the wacky weather that we're having nowadays is causing things to reach us that are more southern type things, like tropical storms, hurricanes, and things like that. Usually if there's a hurricane or a tropical storm that hits somebody in the south, like Florida, Georgia, areas like that, Louisiana, places like that, we usually get some rain, but we don't get a full-on tropical storm. Unfortunately, we got a full-on tropical storm yesterday. It hit with high winds and vengeance. And majority of our county and the surrounding counties has been out of power or still out of power. There's a lot of cleanup that's having to go on. A lot of trees down, a lot of power lines down. And we were lucky for here at our house for it to just kind of be a flash. The only reason why I know that the internet or the electricity was shut off is that we had our appliances were kind of wonky, times were off and things like that. Now, like I said, our internet was completely down until about 3 hours ago. You can live without internet, so I was just really thankful that we had power. On the farm, though, is another story. And unfortunately, we've been spending majority of the day, from about the morning time around 9 o'clock until about 2 this afternoon. We were having issues with getting the generator to work. And we have a sump pump that's at the bottom of the house that prevents the basement from flooding, because unfortunately the basement does flood at the farmhouse. And so it was flooding with the amount of rain that we had. Thankfully, the power was out at the house, but the power was not out at the garage. And so the generator was not working, and we had to use drop cords, extension cords to go all the way up to the basement of the house. It took quite a few cords, but we got it. So thankful for that. Hello from Brazil. That's pretty neat. Awesome. Hi. From New Zealand. Wow. Does New Zealand, I'm gonna guess that probably you all don't get hurricanes. Am I wrong there? Typically our area, you're gonna have mudslides, flooding, tornadoes, but hurricanes is not typically something that we have to endure. We're just far enough, used to be just far enough up from the coast, up from the southern part of the United States on the coast to not get hurricanes. But unfortunately, if you were just popping in, we had a hurricane down south that turned into a tropical storm, and the tropical storm hit our area pretty hard. Unfortunately, there was a lot of things that has happened to a lot of people. People are trapped in their homes. And we're having a lot of flooding. We're obviously having some issues with, like I was saying, power outages, trees down. Our downtown area was pretty much completely out of power. And there was, in one particular area, somebody's roof come off of their business, the metal come off their business and hit some power lines, and that was a big issue in our area as well. It's odd for us to be hit like we did. It's not typical for the Appalachian area this far up. We're, the tip of Appalachia pretty much, the tip of the mountains in this area. But it hit us. It hit us as a tropical storm. Thank God it wasn't a full-on hurricane. There is places that got it much worse than us, and so I don't want to sound ungrateful. I'm extremely thankful that the only issues we've had is power outages and some cleanup, things like that. We're all alive, we're all here, we're all okay. Our homes are okay if we can keep the basement from flooding. So yeah, we are extremely blessed, and extremely thankful. Come here, Ollie. And extremely thankful that we're doing as well as we are. If you haven't noticed, this is my stove. I'm sitting in the kitchen floor. Just seem more comfortable. If you haven't watched our video, for those of you who are on live, I said it in the beginning, we did post a video today of the kind of damage that we experienced yesterday. So if you are interested in that, please watch that. He said, yeah, no, so hurricanes here. Still 90 degrees in Idaho. I'm glad, too. I can't winter well anymore. Yeah, we, thankfully, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Places like Georgia and things like that have been hit really hard. Tennessee has been hit really hard with flooding. They had some damage with their dam. Oliver, come here. This dog is not going to be quiet. But yeah, we're extremely lucky that, the only thing that happened around us was minor compared. Yeah. Well, typical hurricane business is that it just comes through and destroys. It's a lot of rain and a lot of wind. I think by the time the hurricane hit us, like I said, it was a tropical storm. So our winds were probably only like 60 to 70 miles per hour. And so I don't know in your area, I don't know how you would measure that wind speed. But our wind speeds were about 60 to 70 miles per hour. So it didn't cause as much damage as it did for the hurricane. I don't know what the typical wind speed for a hurricane is, but it's much more than 60 to 70 miles per hour. Typically, our biggest issue that's going to cause a lot of damage is tornadoes. Tornadoes are pretty common in our area during certain times of the year. They happen. We're better prepared for them than we are for hurricanes. Now, in the spring of this year, I've got a video on that as well, if you all want to check that out. We did have a tornado that hit our farm, and unfortunately, we had quite a bit of cleanup and damage from that. Hey. Thank you. I appreciate it. We are doing, like I said, we're doing a lot better than other people are. A lot of people got hit. Are you all okay? Did you all get some of the weather that we got? I know that you're, above us. Did you all have any issues with wind or anything like that? But we did have a tornado that came through our area in the spring of this year. And caused quite a bit of damage. We were lucky that we had minimal amount of damage compared to a lot of people around us. There was a lot of people that lost their homes, but we did lose massive trees. We did have a lot of cleanup, a lot of damage. We had damage to our roof. on our garage and our barn area, but nothing that couldn't be, just repaired very easily. And so we have made it through this year. We have made it through two pretty scary storms, and been okay. If it was going to hit you, it probably would have already hit you. It hit us like a freight train yesterday. We knew it was coming. I don't think that they prepared us. For. I don't think anybody was ready for the amount of damage that we were going to receive. I don't think anybody was prepared for like a hurricane to reach our area. I don't think anybody was prepared for that. Typically, I shouldn't be so dramatic. It was a tropical storm, but we are not used to tropical storms, and so we didn't know how to handle it. And I seen a lot of our drought that we had this year come to play a lot. I feel like a lot of the damage that we received with trees and things like that, trees being massive trees. Here's the thing, guys, we didn't lose, like in our area, we didn't lose small trees. We lost massive old trees. If you haven't checked our video out, I keep saying it, but so look at some of the trees, the size of the trees that we lost in the storm yesterday. They were huge. And I think that the drought that we've been through up until today, I said in the video it was like June or July, pretty much since we'd had a good rain. I think since June or July, I don't want to be completely wrong here, but I think we've only had like 3 rains. Or 4. It's been a really low amount of rain. We've been in a drought for a really long time. This is the first rains we've had for a long time. And I think because of that, you could see the damage on the grass. You could see the damage in the ground. You could see the damage in the trees. Our trees were changing. And the leaves were falling, but it's not because we've been in low weather or, low degree weather. We've been high. It's been hot and it's been dry. It hasn't even been humid. We haven't had hardly any humidity. It's been so dry. There's been no moisture that it really did hurt the trees this year. And we knew that going into the winter, that we were going to have some issues with the drought issue that we had. It was going to cause damage to the things around us. It caused damage. I don't know nothing about that. To things around us. And so because of that, we lost a lot of good trees. We lost a lot of big, old trees. And it wasn't like things like pines, that are, where it wasn't trees where like the root system was, on top of the soil. It was trees that were like deeply rooted in the ground, that were completely uprooted and that were twisted and turned and broke. And some of them were even hollowed out. And I know that it was just because they were struggling all summer to survive, that they had a big toll that hit them. And I'm super sad that we had the drought that we've had this year, and I hope that maybe we'll be able to recover this winter, because I feel like with the droughts that we've had the last 2 years, we've been in drought. This year was an extreme drought. Last year was pretty extreme, but not as bad as it was this year. We thought it was bad last year. This was a total different ball game. This was a total different. It was a hard hit this year, and so I believe that we're going to suffer the consequences. I believe that it's going to take a while to come back from the drought that we've had, and And I think that we're going to be paying for it this winter. I think I might be totally and completely wrong, but honestly, guys, we need a wet winter. We need snow, or just we need it rainy or wet or whatever. We just need some moisture. We need to give back. The environment needs to be moist again. But I am extremely thankful for the rain that we've had, even though it came with the tropical storm. We might we might be able to recover yet. The crazy thing is we have had 2 rabbits that are due to kit today. I thought for sure with the storm going on that of course they would kit yesterday, but they did not. So they're holding on to their babies through the storm. I had one nesting today, one that didn't, but she's an older doe and she waits to the last minute to nest. And so she probably won't have me no babies. She wouldn't have me any babies anyways today. So I'm hoping tomorrow when I check on them in the morning or the afternoon that we will have some babies. I've got my work cut out for me though. If you haven't watched my video on canning pears, a friend of ours gave us some pears a couple weeks ago. I canned those, and now I've got another pot going with some more pears. She gave me quite a few. With all that's been going on though, if you're not familiar with what's been going on, we've had 2 major losses and tragedies in the family here recently. Then we had this storm come up. Within the last 3 weeks, we have had just like crazy things happening. I had a health scare just in the last little while, and so we've had a lot going on. And so because she gave us all those pears kind of in a hectic time, unfortunately we're gonna have to give a lot of them to the chickens. They've went past their date, and where they are organic pears, they're not have any preservatives or anything in them. They're all natural. We did lose quite a few, but that's okay. It's just part of it. If you've been watching and looking for a video on the fall garden, I might do an update on it, but there's not much to update on. Majority of the seeds did not come up. The drought has been rough. I've talked about that. The only thing that really came up well was the French breakfast radishes. They did wonderful. They look wonderful. They're beautiful. And so they did well. Some of the lettuce came up, but it's splotchy. Spinach did not come up. Kohlrabi did not come up. Beets did not come up. And so that's where we're at. That's how the fall garden is doing. And I'm not going to whine and cry about it. It's just not been our year. It's just not been our year. I was talking to somebody the other day, and as hard as this year has been on us in general, just emotionally, I've been a emotional wreck the majority of this year, just with everything that has happened. I've lost a grandparent. My husband lost a friend. We've had major things going on with the farm. We've been in drought. We've lost animals. It's just been a hard year. And I was talking to my mother and I was like, Mom, I wish this year just wouldn't have happened. Like, I wish that just 2024 wouldn't have happened and we could just skip on to 2025. I would be perfectly okay with that, because it has been a struggle. It's been a struggle, and we're not even done with the year yet. And I know that I should be optimistic. And guys, I tell you all the time to be optimistic and to look on the bright side of things. And I wish I could. I wish I could be optimistic. I'm trying to be optimistic. But sometimes, like, life happens and it's hard. And I think it's okay to tell people that. I think that we need to be, especially when you're in the open like I am right online. I try to keep a lot of my life private. I try to keep things, to us. I need you, Eric. I'm glad you're on here. I try to keep things, I try to keep my life with being open with you all, but having some type of privacy. And I wish that I wish that we didn't have these tough times. I wish that things weren't hard sometimes, but they are. And so I don't want to like portray to everybody that, you know, everything's fine and it's all fine and dandy and, you know, it's okay. And because sometimes we have issues. Sometimes we have health scares, like I was talking about. Sometimes we have family members that pass away. Sometimes we have tragic events happen that just rock your world and shake, you know, who you are and the foundation of what you know, hit the ground on which you stand on, and that it's hard to swallow, and it's a hard cloud that sits over top of you. And I think that we need to be open about those things. I don't want to portray that everything is just wonderful all the time. And so I feel like I've done a good job. I've done a good job trying to keep things not so sugar coated all the time. Okay, let me see. How if venom therapy? You do that, don't you? Don't you? It helps my arthritis big time. But yeah. So all that being said, all the whining that I've been doing, I want to know how everybody else is doing now. I want to know if you were affected by the storm, how that went. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit if I can. If you weren't, do you have any family members that was affected by the storm? My father-in-law is in Florida, and he said they did pretty well. Awesome. Oh, Eric, I felt so bad for you. That was awful. When you messaged me and said that, I was thinking, my Lord, bless his heart. Y'all have had a hard road to hoe this year, too. Y'all, it seems like, have been having just as much trouble as we have with everything that's going on. So, while everybody's commenting, I'm like 100 days sober. Congratulations. I'm not a fan at all of this, but until I get my own housing, I'm well, try to stay sober. That would be the best thing for you, the best option. I talk about a lot on this channel, and I try to say as much as possible in my videos that we need a community. When you're trying to raise your own food, when you're trying to do your own things, you need a community. You need people around you that are like-minded. You need people that you can call when something comes up and you've never handled it. You need just friends that are in this community and can help you out. Well, I have found a girl that lives in our tiny little town that our farm's on, and well, congratulations to you too, for sobriety. But I talk about community, and I found a girl in my tiny little town that our farm is in who is doing the same thing as me. I've had a hard time finding people that are doing like the exact thing as we do, as like raising our own, meat sources and stuff. A lot of people frown upon that. They want their chickens, but they just want to look at them, maybe eat their eggs or whatever, but nobody's really doing, us. The things that we do. They're not hunting and things like that, like we, like we like to do. And so I found her. I seen her on Facebook, and she had posted a picture of like her selling a rabbit, and I seen that she was in the same town as me, and I was like, girl, I told my husband, I didn't tell her this because it'd be weird, but I told my husband, I was like, I've totally got a girl crush. There is a girl that is in our community, in our neighborhood, and she's doing the same things that we are. And so I know, and for whatever reason your name slipped my mind. I was going to say your name, and then I was like, it lost me as I was talking. Yes, Mike, congratulations on your sobriety. I mean that sincerely. I just couldn't think of your name. I don't know why I couldn't think of your name. But um, now I'm losing my train right now. I'm a mess. Anyways, so I messaged her. I was like, girl, you want to do like a little trade, you know, whatever. And so I traded her a chicken, a rooster that we were not using, that we had raised from an egg. And so he was the only one. And so he turned into a pet. He was really gentle and things like that. So it wasn't something that we could butcher. And so we had him in a separate area because I didn't want him to be our brood rooster, because he was just, I don't know, he was related to multiple of the hens and stuff. So anyways, all that to be said, I traded her my rooster for eggs. And so his mama laid blue eggs, and I just recently sold some hens, and one of them was my blue egg layer because she was wild. I didn't like her personality for an egg layer. And she was just wild. She was too small for my rooster. I like having Brahma crosses because they give us, you know, a larger size. And so larger size equals more meat in most cases. And so I like to keep a Brahma rooster, a Brahma cross or something in there. And she was like a little leg bar. She was a golden leg bar, and she was too small for my rooster. My rooster was really, you know, just like raking her back, and tearing her feathers off. She was always like had feathers missing, and it didn't look good. And so I let her heal up. We got her healed up, and then I sold her. And she was my only blue egg layer. If you know anything about me, I like to keep. Yeah, buddy. Talk about yeah. Locally grown beef is wonderful. If you can find, Eric, somebody in your community, typically probably Facebook. If you've got like a page on Facebook or like a community area, maybe like on a buy sell and trade page or something like that, and you get on there and you ask and say, does anybody know anybody that butchers beef locally or butchers pork locally or something like that? A lot of times people will be able to direct you to people that sell packages of pork or beef or whatever. If you don't have room for, like, say a half a cow or a whole cow or something like that, you can buy I wouldn't want to say exactly what the prices would be in your area, but in our area there's 2 local farms specifically that I know raise good beef, good homegrown organic type beef, and pork. One is just strictly beef, I think, and the other one's beef and pork. You can buy bundles of meat like steak, ground beef, things like that for, I think, I looked at a package the other day. I can't remember what the amount of beef it was. You got like good cuts of beef, and it was like $179, and it was quite a bit of poundage. It had steak. I can't remember what all was in it, but they were local to us. They were 10-15 minutes down the road. And so if you can find someone like that, it's obviously going to be better for you. You're going to be able to get beef probably at a pretty decent price for something being locally grown. Obviously, the taste is going to be more palatable than what you're going to find at a local grocery store. Us being a small town, one wonderful thing about us being a small town and being a farming community, a lot of times our like local small stores, I don't know if y'all have like Save-A-Lot is really common in our area, IGA, things like that, small town, hometown grocery stores There's another store in our area that's like a local, it's owned locally by local people, and they get local cuts of meat. Pork, ground beef, things like that. Well, we have multiple stores like that. They're like family owned grocery stores, hometown grocery stores. Um, and a lot of those places will sell local pork, beef, chicken, things like that. Sometimes not as much chicken. Save Lot's not. I don't. Well, yeah, I take that back. They do sell local chicken. So a lot of times, especially our pork, or bacon. There's a specific place that we buy bacon from that is locally grown, locally raised, organic stuff bacon. But I don't know about your area. We're a farming community. We're a small town community. There's not very many people in our area, and so I feel like it would almost be cheaper, maybe on the store's part of buying from locally. I don't really know how they do that, but whatever they do. And so we can buy a lot of locally grown beef just within our local grocery stores. Now, if you're thinking like Walmart and Kroger's and places like that, they're not really going to carry your local beef or things like that. We don't buy from those stores. I don't know when the last time I've been in a Walmart or a Kroger. I couldn't tell you. Actually, a couple, the beginning of the year last year, or no, the end of year last year, I went into Kroger's for Pectin. And that's the last time I've been into Kroger's. And before that, it's been years. Probably back in the coronavirus days was the time before that. So we try our best to shop local. We try our best to shop small grocers when you can do that. You're not missing nothing. Kroger is overpriced, and honestly, the quality is less than par. I have known so many people in our community, at least at our local Kroger, that has gotten bad, rancid meat. My mother-in-law shops at Kroger a lot. And she, cause she's got more money than me. I'm just kidding, but she does. She shops at Kroger a lot, and a lot of times she's got to take stuff back from just bad produce, bad meat products, bad stuff all the time. So, she doesn't have, but that's our local Kroger. I don't know if it's like that all the way across the board. I don't know if it's just an issue with ours, but, big issue with it, at least in our area, and she's not the only one. I know a lot of people that have issues with it. So, and I like I said, I don't typically shop. I don't typically shop those big franchises. Anyways, I don't really like them. They don't really seem to offer much for me, so just don't shop there. And people look at you like you're crazy when you say that, but I just don't. I just rather shop locally owned places. And so there is plenty of locally owned grocers in our area that we don't really have to shop. And I know it's not like that for everybody, but at least for our area, our community, it's like that. We have a lot of like Amish Mennonite stores. There's a it's a Mennonite grocer in the next town over from us. It's about 5 minutes away from us. And that's where I get my sourdough breads and things like that. They have really, really good, like if you just want to buy just like a good like steak, ribeye or whatever there, good cuts of beef. They don't really have, they do have pork, but they don't have as much pork as they do beef. But it's local stuff. It's a local grocery store. It's people that live in our community. They have they make that stuff every day. You can go in and get like pies and things like that. And I'm not only I'm not big on a lot of like people claiming things are Amish products. A lot of times people will claim something as an Amish product and sell it to be that way. If you buy food from like local actual Amish in our community, to be honest, it's not our favorite. But we really do like that store. They make it fresh made every day. And they make it fresh made every day. Hold on, give me just a second. Did I do it, Eric? Did I get it situated? I don't know how that keeps happening. Okay. Alright. It's always a distraction. Every single time. I totally lost. But I feel like if you can find those small, like, mom and pop shops, if you can find those locally owned grocers, and like I said, I know that that's not available for everybody. Thank God it is available in our area, and so we do take advantage of that, and we do like to buy from your local grocery stores, local products, locally grown products, and overall I feel like it's just, hello, how are you? I feel like it's just better for your health overall. Better quality food for sure. Even if it wasn't better for your health, it tastes better. It's better quality. I know, Eric, and I have blocked him. I don't know how it keeps like sneaking in. I don't know how. But anyways, I hate it. I hate having to do it. I feel bad every single time. I don't know how it keeps managing to happen though. So how is everybody doing? I know a lot of people's probably done gardening. Like I said, we have a fall garden, but our fall garden is just not done very good, just like our summer garden didn't. Just this drought. But that's okay. I'm alright. I didn't have my heart set super hard on it. I wasn't even really going to do it. I'm getting more back into canning stuff. We're going to be doing jellies and jams. We're going to be doing preserves. So we've got our pear preserves. Here in a couple weeks, I'll be getting a bushel or two of apples, probably a bushel of apples. Usually a bushel of apples gives us about enough. So I'll be doing apple preserves, apple jelly. Apple jelly is a favorite around here. It's really sweet. It's also, I like to give preserves for Christmas. I feel like it's just special to have. Also, people just ask me, hey, do you have this? And usually I do. People know that I'm not one to waste food, and so that's how we've ended up with so many pears this year is she brought me pears, and then she brought them to me again. She said, I knew you would do something with these, and so I did. I've peeled my pears, and so we'll let them sit in sugar overnight. I've got me a freezer bag of our cores and peels. I'm sorry, excuse me. Our cores and our peels, and I will be doing probably some jelly soon. I have not tried our corn cob jelly. Guys, I've got our corn cobs bagged up in the freezer that we cut our corn off of, and I still have not done our jelly. Why? I don't know. Probably because I just got so tired of the garden that I just didn't. Your wife told me she was going to plant radishes. I think that's what she told me. Oh, no. That's the only thing that took for ours, too, was the radishes and a little bit of lettuce. We planted black-seeded lettuce and something else lettuce. And a patch in one row and a patch in another row. Well, actually, a patch in one row and a plant in another row was the only thing that took, and then the radishes. I planted a boatload of spinach. I planted planted spinach, kohlrabi, beets. I really wanted to see if the beets would work. They didn't work. I've got a feeling, though, that we're going to hit after this tropical storm. We were a little bit cooler today. It was sweater weather today. I had a big hoodie on. I think that we're going to hit cooler temps. I believe that we're getting ready to get a frost. I have one pepper plant left in the garden. We've plowed over the rest. It's in the raised beds. And so I've got jalapenos on that, and the plant needs, oh, I thought somebody's pulled into the house. The plant needs picked. It's got plenty of fruit on it. I just need to pick it. And so, but that's pretty much it. We do have okra. I have not even touched the okra. My mother-in-law's been getting okra here and there, but it came on so late. The okra was so late in the season that we were just so tired that the okra just didn't get touched. It's still producing. It still has blooms on it. Still has flowers on it, but I haven't touched it. But I think that about wraps it up. I wish that it would have been a better year this year for gardening, but it is what it is. You know, we're not going to make a mountain out of a molehill. We're just going to move on and try again next year. Now, if we can get some time, though, I would really like to add quite a bit of compostable materials into the garden. I really want to try some leaves on top of the garden for compost. And we've got plenty of, well, we have less trees than we did have, but we've got quite a few trees that we can add, take leaves from. And so when the leaves really start falling, which this storm is going to help them out quite a bit, when the leaves really start falling, I really want to start covering up parts of the garden with leaves. I have not done this before. I know that it's a typical practice. I know that a lot of people do it, but I've never done it. And so I'm getting warm with that blanket on me where I was sitting in the floor. I was getting cold. It's a typical practice. I just have not done it. And so I really want to see, I want to reap the benefits of what that ever it is. Because a lot of people do it. And so we'll just have to see. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. I hope that we have everybody. I hope everybody has a better year next year, because I really haven't had anybody say that their garden year was wonderful. I had one person that I've talked to that had a garden. I haven't had anybody say it's been just amazing this year, that everything's just done wonderful. And I think that's because it wasn't. I think that a lot of people had the same struggles that we had. I know a lot of people that are kind of in our zone area. We are in zone 6. I don't know if it's 6A or 6B, but we're in zone 6, and everybody struggled with drought. Everybody had an issue. I know that there was a lot of places that had drought, and so most everybody struggled this year, which really stinks, but it is what it is with the garden. So I hope that everything we can recover throughout the winter, that we'll have time for recovery, and then we can get back to it. Do you need something, honey?
No.
You okay?
Yeah.
You want to show them your glasses?
Yeah.
She got new glasses. Are they clean? Because she got bubble gum on them earlier. Are they still dirty? They still got bubble gum on them? We'll clean them, and then you can show them. She's in her PJs, because I don't know what time it is. What time is it?
It's 7.
It's 7 o'clock.
We
got all wet, though. She blew a bubble earlier and got bubble gum all over the lens. I was like, child, you just got those.
Hey, if anybody
Is it coming off?
Yeah. If anybody knows me, they know I'm a bubble gum at all.
We'll probably go to bed early. I went to bed, and y'all know me. I hardly ever go to bed. Let me see. Oh my gosh.
You want to get the Windex?
She's got the gum still on it. Did you put soap on it?
No.
Yeah, put soap on it.
Yeah, we coming in.
Brand new glasses, y'all. They ain't even made. She got them yesterday.
I've only had them for a full night. I'll take that call.
Yeah, we've just hit. We're just a couple hours over 24 hours old, and they're already got something going on with them.
Hey, I think he's coming off.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, well, that's wonderful because you've been very uncomfortable, I'm sure. But we came in from the storm or whatever. We got back to the house. I don't know, around 4. We had a movie night, what we call a movie night, where we made a pallet in the floor. We didn't have no internet, so we whipped out the old computer because we don't have a TV, and it's got like one of those slots for CDs because it's old school HP computer laptop. And so we popped. Have you all ever watched that movie Savage Sam? It's a spin-off of Old Yeller. So Old Yeller was the first one, and then Savage Sam was the second one. So like Old Yeller dies in the first one, and then they have Savage Sam. It's the same characters. We got, to be honest, I don't know. They were giving us anywhere between I think 2 to 4 inches. And I'd say we got every bit of 2 to 4 inches yesterday. But we rained all week. All the animals were fine. They weren't affected by the storm. If you haven't realized or haven't seen the last video I posted or haven't been here for a while, we got a tropical storm yesterday. It wasn't just like the rain off the hurricane. We literally got like a tropical storm. It was like 60 or 70 miles per hour wind yesterday. Everybody held up. The puppy was a little bit scared. Tilly was a little bit scared. Have you not been able to get it off yet?
No, I'm driving.
Let me see.
I think I got it pretty good.
I mean, you tried.
Well, I'll have to call into my eye doctor saying.
You'll have to look it up, Eric. You know Old Yeller, right? You know the movie Old Yeller?
We have the case, and I was like, I get too sad with Old Yeller.
Did you get the movie case? Get the case.
I don't know where it's at. I don't like that.
She's got bubblegum all over these. These are her glasses, though. Ain't they cute? I'll have her put them on. But this is a hunting dog. It's a blue tick hound. And then instead of it being based off of Old Yeller, it's based off of this blue tick hound. But it's got a really good storyline, and it's, Arliss and, what's the oldest boy's name? But anywho, it's good. You need to watch it. It's old. I don't know when it came out. It came out after Old Yeller, obviously, but I don't know how far. It kind of reminds you, I don't know. It kind of goes in the category of like Old Yeller and like where the red fern grows and stuff like that. It's a cute little movie. I've not watched it.
The CD's still in the case.
Yeah, I just need to see the. Oh, I thought it showed it. So this has got Old Yeller, but it's called the Old Yeller sequel, Savage Sam. And then it says, now discover what happens next in Savage Sam in the sequel to Walt Disney classic adventures Old Yeller, where adopting a new puppy sets the stage for more thrills in the Untamed West with the two young masters, Travis and Arliss. Gentle and true blue Sam's yeah, that's what I said. Sam's face even greater danger than Yeller. From a furious attack of wolves and wildcats and tracking wrongdoers, our four-legged hero proves his pedigree. Savage Sam is a compelling story of love, devotion, and trust that is sure to win your hearts. It's really cute. It's not, they don't really try to, it's not like you know how like sometimes sequels like they try to like just recreate, I don't know, like most of the time like you watch the first one, the second one isn't any good, but this is a completely different dog, a completely different storyline, and I like it. Called Togo, I think. I have to look it up. We'll have to look that one up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's her glasses, guys. Look at all the bowls where we just had pairs. We got a bunch of dishes up there.
Yeah.
There's her glasses.
Daddy started wearing them. I'm like, no, I need those.
Yeah, her and her daddy have got. Eric said, very nice.
Thanks.
I don't know if I can fit you in. Can you scoot over?
Okay.
There we go. She's in.
Yeah, I love them. Old Yeller's a little too sad.
She won't watch Old Yeller, but she'll watch Savage Sam. So if you have any sensitive children like mine, is sensitive, then you'll like Old Yeller or Savage Sam, because the dog doesn't die in the end. It's one of those movies, you know how like most dog movies, the dog dies in the end? He doesn't die in this one.
He actually survives.
Brown broke Adam's glasses. Oh no.
What happened?
His wife got her glasses broke.
Oh no.
She actually is pretty gentle with her glasses. She just needs them for reading, mostly. And when she's on the computer or watching anything, don't you?
Yeah. To be honest, I ain't broke a pair. Like my old pair, I just needed to move up a prescription. I just had to get new glasses for them. I ain't broke them.
Yeah, she's really gentle on glasses. I was telling the eye doctor, she said, are these the same ones that she had last year? I said, yeah. I said, by this time, they would have done replaced my glasses like 3 or 4 times. I used to go through glasses like, I don't know, like 3 a year is typically how I was. I had to wear glasses when I was a kid. I had one of those lazy eyes, as they call them.
Yeah, my eye, I don't know if it's always been like this, but this eye, you remember, they have to always like...
She's blind as a bat in that one eye.
Because they had to change the prescription. I remember, didn't they have to lower one eye? And I think they had to lower this side, or it was this side, but I think this is my bad side.
No, they had to enhance.
Oh, yeah.
The one side. The other one was the same, but the other side had to be enhanced. She's not that bad, but
yeah,
she is a little bit blind. I'm just joking. I need mine for reading and nighttime. I haven't had to wear glasses in a long time, and what's crazy is when I was pregnant with her, usually your vision will go down. I had 20/20 when I went back. I hadn't had glasses since I was like in high school, and then I went back when I was pregnant with her to check to make sure that everything was good. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm yawning. And I didn't need them, and he said, you got 20/20, you're good. So I do get headaches and migraines, and so every once in a while if I'm having a headache or a migraine, I can put on some glasses and it helps me sometimes, but I'm very prone to getting migraines and headaches, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, guys, do you got something to say? Oliver, shh.
Yeah, Mommy would put my glasses on and be like, I can't hardly see anything, and then I'd wear them and I'd be like, what are you talking about?
She's wearing like magnifying glasses.
Yeah. It brings everything closer.
Oliver,
So you look at something and be farther off, but with these on, it makes it way closer.
Well, guys, you want to sign us off? We've been on here for a while, and the dog's getting all aggravated. I don't know what he wants. Come here.
You making eye contact, Ollie?
He's being loud. So we're going to head off here, but I appreciate everybody that's checked on us. I know a lot of people have checked. If you haven't watched the video where I posted the storm from yesterday, I encourage you to check that out. You have a nice night as well. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Come here. You're being bad. I appreciate it. Thank you all for the support and for hanging out. Hopefully we can see you on the next one, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. God bless y'all.
See you later.
Love y'all.